All right. Good morning, everyone. Um, Maybe you were expecting to see Lorianne sitting here, but surprise, I'm teaching today. So if you haven't practiced with me, I think the three of you ladies have before, but it is nice to meet you and be here practicing with you, even though it is virtually. Today for our practice, you'll just want to have your two blocks with you. If you like to have your blocks for your practice, they're definitely not necessary, but they will be a nice prop if it's something that you usually like to have. And I would like to get started in a child's pose today. So maybe taking your blocks to the side of your mat, and whenever you're ready, we'll begin with the knees either to the wide edges of the mat, or you can keep them in together, whichever child's pose is calling you this morning. Reaching the arms out nice and wide in front of you. And just allow the center of the forehead, that third eye, to press gently into your mat. Let that third eye allow you to feel grounded and supported here on your mat this morning. Maybe you even can smell what your mat smells like. Maybe you feel the temperature of air moving across your arms and your fingers. Just taking some deep breaths and really grounding ourselves into this present moment here. Acknowledging that everything that's to come today will come in its own time. And we've allowed ourselves the next 60 minutes here to just really tune in and be here in this present moment, here on our mats, giving that busy mind just a little bit of a break. From here, take a deep breath in through your nose. Really fill yourself up and see if you can fill up into the back ribs. Breathing in, maybe you feel them expand. And then as you exhale, maybe the heart softens towards the ground just a little bit more. Really tuning into our breath here. Let's do that again. Take a deep breath in, fill those back ribs up. Feel them expand behind you. And exhale, release, feel them soften. Let's go 2 more deep breaths like this. Take an inhale. Really fill yourself up. Feel those back ribs filling with air. And exhale, release. Last time here, big breath in, really breathing into those back ribs. Fill yourself up. And exhale, release and soften. From here, press your hands into the mat. Take a deep breath in, getting a nice long straight spine. And then keeping that engagement in your arms, begin to walk your hands over towards the right side. So they might come off of your mat here. Continue reaching out through your fingertips, get that nice long stretch, and just reaching over towards the right side. So really breathing into that left side body, creating some space, filling ourselves up with new air, new vitality. And then when you're ready, begin to walk the hands over towards the left side. Reaching through the fingertips, you can allow the head to relax. And take some deep breaths into that right side. Get nice and long through those right fingertips. Fill yourself up. And exhale, release. Inhale, fill yourself up. Keep reaching through those right fingertips. And then exhale, release. Walk the hands back to center. Take an inhale, press into the palms. Begin to pull yourself up into a tabletop position. So coming onto hands and knees. Let's get the knees right underneath the hips here. Wrists are under the shoulders. And actively press down into your hands, into the mat, to get some nice strong shoulders here. Feel that engagement in your shoulders. We'll go through a bit of a cat-cow here to warm up the spine. So take an inhale, drop your belly, lift your tail, raise your gaze, breath in. As you exhale, press into the floor, curl your back, drop your tailbone, drop your gaze. Let's move through this motion for about 5 cycles of our own breath here. And I welcome you here to give your eyes a gentle close. Maybe this helps you to really tune into your body. Really trying to marry each movement with an inhale and exhalation. And when you're finished your last cycle of cat-cow, return yourself to a neutral spine. Press down into the palms. Curl your toes behind you here. Get nice and strong across your shoulders, so pressing the hands into the mat. Toes are curled under. Let's bring some engagement into our belly. So see if you can lift your belly button in towards your spine, as if you're hugging everything in together. From here, keeping that engagement in your core, press through the hands. See if you can lift your knees to just a hover. You can keep your gaze in between your 2 thumbs here on the mat. Pressing down through every finger knuckle, hug the belly in. Take a deep breath. Exhale, release. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. Let's do that motion one more time. Press into the palms, toes curl, and knees come to a hover. Get nice and strong across your shoulders. Pull that belly button in towards your spine. Hug everything in. Take a deep breath. Exhale, release the knees. From here, press into your left hand. Let's inhale and reach the right hand towards the sky. Drawing the shoulder blades together on the back. Keep reaching up through those fingertips as you get nice and long. And then as you exhale, take that right hand and let's sweep it underneath for thread the needle. So taking it right underneath that left arm. You can sit the hips back just slightly if you'd like. And you can use this left hand here and press the palm into the mat, sort of just across from your face or where your gaze would be. And by pushing into the mat, it can help you to find that spot on the back of your shoulder. Maybe you rest the head on the ground, breathing into that space in your upper back, feeling the shoulder blades come apart. From here, press the left hand into the mat, take an inhale, sweep the right hand up towards the sky. One more time. Big reach, big breath in. And exhale, release the hands. From here, keep pressing down into your right hand as you take an inhale and lift the left up to the sky. Drawing the shoulder blades together on the back, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, coming in to thread the needle, take that left arm, sweep it underneath the right. Pressing that right palm into the earth to help you find that spot on the back of the left shoulder. And just breathe into that space. From here, press into that right hand. Get nice and strong. Take an inhale. Let's sweep the left hand up towards the sky one more time. Shoulder blades draw together, and then exhale, release the hands. From here, press equally into both hands. Get nice and strong in your shoulders, belly button towards your spine. Curl the toes, and let's find our downward facing dog. So send those hips up and back. Press through your hands. Press every finger knuckle into the mat. And just feeling out our downward dog here. Allow your head and neck to just hang, to be nice and heavy. And then actively press your hands down into the mat as you lift your tailbone up. Take a deep breath. Just feeling yourself here. Exhale. One more deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. From here, bend your knees and look towards your hands. Walk forwards between your two hands. Coming into a little forward fold here, always an option to have your blocks. Press down equally into both feet so that you can allow your upper body to just hang forwards over your thighs. And see if you can just let your head and neck be nice and loose, nice and heavy here. Maybe you give it a shake, yes. Maybe you shake it out, no. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And I want you to think of something that you can let go here, something that's no longer serving you, and exhale, let it out. Imagine it rolling off the top of your head. From here, press down into your feet. Let's inhale, take a halfway lift. So bring your hands to your shins. Reach the crown of your head out towards the front of your space. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Maybe you bend the knees. Press down into your feet to rise yourself up to standing with a nice straight spine. And from here, come to your mountain pose. Let's take a moment as we arrive to standing here to really root ourselves into the mat. So give your eyes a nice close, spread the palms out to the front of your space, and bring the awareness to your feet. Thinking about your feet, I want you to see if you can feel into all four corners of your standing 2 feet. Feel what the ground feels like underneath. And then ask yourself what you can give yourself right here in this moment to help you feel just a little bit more supported, maybe a little bit more rooted. Maybe it's a little bit of the tailbone tucking under. Maybe the shoulders come down and back. Take a wider stance. Maybe you reach the crown of the head to the sky. Take a breath in. Exhale, release, open up the eyes. Ground through the feet, take an inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. From here, exhale, allow your hands to come to heart center. I'm going to turn and face you guys to change my orientation here. But from here, standing equally with both feet, I want you to press your hands into one another, getting a little bit of engagement in the shoulders here. So pressing those palms into one another, see if you can draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. From here, let's take an inhale, keep pressing the palms in towards one another, and with engagement, Begin to draw them up towards your eyebrows as you squeeze the elbows in towards one another, hugging everything in. And if your elbows don't actually touch, it's just the action of squeezing them in. As we exhale, keep pressing the palms together, allow the elbows to come out nice and wide, and then see if you can draw those shoulder blades together on your back. Keep pressing those hands in. Inhale, let's bring the elbows together, arms come up, maybe you lift the gaze. Keeping that engagement, and then exhale, let the elbows come out nice and wide. Maybe the shoulder blades draw together on the back. Let's do 2 more times. Press into the palms. Draw the elbows together. Maybe you lift the gaze. Exhale, keeping that engagement, allowing the elbows to spread. Maybe the shoulder blades draw onto the back. Shoulders go down away from the ears. 1 more time here. Squeezing the palms, squeezing the elbows in nice and tight. Hug it in. Exhale, elbows spread, palms press into one another, and shoulder blades wrap on the back. Release your hands. From here, take an inhale, reach your arms up and overhead, look towards your hands. And then let's take a forward fold here. So moving mindfully for your own practice, your own body. Maybe the hands come through heart center or you catch your hips. Coming down for your forward fold, maybe you grab your blocks to help you coming down here. From here, let's step ourselves back into a high plank. So placing the blocks to the side, maybe you bend the knees, ground your hands into the floor, and take a giant step back with one foot, and then with the other foot, finding a high plank position here. Really press down through your hands, get those nice strong shoulders. See if you can pull that belly button in towards your spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower your knees, and lower yourself slowly all the way down to your belly. Keeping that nice engagement through the shoulders, lots of control on the way down. And when you get there, untuck the toes. From here, let's take a cobra, press those hands into the mat. Take an inhale, reach your shoulders up and back, down and away from the ears. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Exhale, lower yourself down. From here, press into your palms. Push yourself up onto hands and knees. And then exhale, send the hips back for child's pose. Take a deep breath in, breathe into those back ribs. Exhale, release. From here, let's take an inhale. Pull ourselves up onto hands and knees. Curl your toes under. Press the palms into the mat. Nice strong shoulders. Find your downward facing dog. Pressing into every finger knuckle. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees, look towards the front of your mat. Step forwards between your hands. Inhale, let's take a halfway lift, hands to shins, reach the crown of the head up and out. Exhale, fold yourself forwards. Maybe you use your blocks. From here, inhale, take a halfway lift, hands come to your shins. As you exhale, hands come to the hips. Press down into your feet and slowly rise yourself up, nice straight spine. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And exhale, hands come through heart center. Let's go through one more modified sun salutation here. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, however it is comfortable to you, fold yourself forwards, find your blocks. Let the head and neck go. Inhale, take a halfway lift, your hands come to your shins, reach the crown of the head out, big breath in. And exhale, fold forwards. Maybe grabbing onto your blocks on the way down. Bending at the knees, let's plant our hands into the mat and find our high plank. So taking a big step back with one foot, and with the other foot, hold that belly button in towards your spine. Get nice and tight across your core. Press your hands into the mat. Feel those strong shoulders. We can do hard things. Take a deep breath. Exhale, let your knees come to the mat and slowly lower your upper body all the way down with control. Pressing those palms into the mat. Untuck your toes here. And let's find our cobra pose. Press those hands down into the mat. Lift the chest up. Big sip of air in. And exhale, lower yourself down. Take a big inhale through the nose. Press those palms into the mat as you send yourself up onto hands and knees. And maybe the hips continue to reach back on your exhale for child's pose. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale. Maybe you open your mouth and give it a nice sigh out. Let's do that one more time. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, open your mouth, sigh it out. From here, press your hands into the mat, take an inhale, come up onto your hands and knees. From here, moving into side plank or a variation of side plank, depending on how your yogi is feeling today on your mat. So let's go with the left side first. So let's take the left hand and plant it into the center of the mat. From here, you can choose to either come over with both feet flat on the ground, with your feet staggered, or you can take that left knee and drop it onto the ground here, reaching the arm up and having that leg out. You can also have both knees on the mat on a little diagonal here. As long as we're keeping that shoulder over the wrist. So lots of options here for our side plank, but wherever you are, pressing down into that left hand and reaching that right hand up. Actively draw the shoulder blades together on the back so that our heart is nice and open towards the right side. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, maybe you lower your knees depending on your variation of side plank. We'll all meet back over onto hands and knees in a tabletop. And let's take a couple cat-cows with the spine here to just reset a little bit. Moving at your own breath. Just get that nice little motion, little counter action. And then when you're ready, we will find our side plank on the right side this time. So you can either take yourself into a full plank first and move your hands, or setting up for your side plank, however is easiest for you. Maybe you just turn the hips, press the palm in, and there you go, your side plank. Maybe you just extend the top leg. Feel free to get curious with this here. Exploring what kind of side plank the yogi on your mat might need today. It doesn't mean that that's always the way it has to be, but it's just the way it is for this moment right here, right now. Keep reaching up through those left fingertips. Take a breath in. As you exhale, coming out of your side plank, depending on where you are, moving mindfully and coming back onto our hands and knees. Some nice strong arms here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. Maybe you rock your hips from side to side, give them a nice little stretch. And then from here, let's curl our toes behind us once again. Get nice and strong into those arms. We're getting nice and a lot of work done in the upper body today. So we're all going to have nice strong shoulders and arms after this one. So pressing the hands into the mat. Let's lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog once again. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. And from here, option to try on a dolphin pose. So this is a really nice pose for building some strength in the shoulders and the upper body. So what you're going to do is walk your down dog in a little bit shorter. So making a shorter down dog. You can really bend through your knees here if you need to. Always a lovely option to bend through the knees. And then from here, we're going to come down onto the forearms. So you can bend your knees as much as you need, allowing the forearms to come down to the mat. You can make a fist with your hand here and press your forearms down into the mat as you lift your hips up. Feel those nice strong shoulders. See if you can bring your shoulders away from your ears. Maybe you gaze at your two thumbs. Pressing down with the forearms and lifting up through the hips. One more deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. From here, lower the knees to the mat. Maybe you take them to the wide edges or keep them tucked in, wherever you'd like the knees to be so that you can find your child's pose. Stretch out nice and long. Let go of that engagement, that strength. Maybe you feel your heart beating at the front of your body, feeling that energy you created for yourself, that strength, that stability. We can do very hard things. Take a deep breath in, fill your back body up. Exhale, release it out. Let's take 2 more deep breaths like that. Take an inhale in, fill yourself up. Getting a nice little reset here. And exhale, sigh it out. One more time. And if you notice your thoughts sort of creeping back in, see if you can use this breath to be a little bit of a silencer, a noise canceller. Allow your breath to be louder than your thoughts. Let's give it a try. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release. From here, press into the palms, come up onto your hands and knees. Curl the toes under. Press into your palms and just either lifting the hips up just slightly, or you can come fully into your downward facing dog. We're just going to make our way to standing here. So even if you're just in hands and knees and you'd like to just walk your feet up, maybe using your blocks on the floor. Careful not to knock your water bottle over. Maybe using the blocks. And then from here, let's take an inhale, halfway lift here. Hands come to the shins, nice long crown of the head. Exhale, hands come to the hips. And we'll slowly raise ourselves up to standing. From here, let's come into an eagle pose on the right side. So inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Maybe there's a slight bend in the knees. Find that grounding, that stability and support by pressing into the mat. From here, let's take our arms and grab a hold of opposite shoulders. You can take the right arm underneath the left because we'll move into the right side. So from here, pressing into the left foot, keep those elbows nice and lifted. Let's lift that right knee up to hip height. And then either crossing it over our foot here, so just so that the toes rest on the mat, or maybe today you play with hugging the foot completely around the calf, or working towards so. Whichever variation of your eagle you take this morning, choose it with integrity and take a deep breath in. Reach the crown of your head up. Fly your eagle nice and proud. Squeezing left and right sides in towards one another. I love this pose because it sort of mimics that moment in life when you feel like you're being pulled in so many different directions, but you need to hug everything into the center to find that balance. We squeeze the left and right sides into one another, even when we feel like they're completely intertwined. We hug everything into the center. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, begin to unravel yourself, uncross the leg, and give yourself a little shake out. Shake the hips from side to side. Maybe you do a little dance. From there, let's come into eagle on the other side. So grounding through that right foot this time. Let's grab a hold of ourselves, give ourselves a nice big hug. This time, left arm under, right arm over. So just switching the arms from the way you had them the last time. And whenever you feel comfortable in your nice hug, sitting the hips down, grounding through that right foot, inhale, lift it up and over. Maybe the toes just rest on the mat for today, or maybe you play with tucking it behind that shin. Whatever version of your eagle you choose, choose it again with integrity, knowing that this side is a different experience than the previous one. So this eagle might be completely different. It does not need to feel the same, and it shouldn't. So approach that with compassion. Be compassionate with yourself here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release that side. Slowly let everything unwind and then shake it up. From here, bend the knees, sweep the arms up and overhead. Reset, give yourself a nice fill up of air here. And exhale, hands come to heart center. I'm going to turn and face the front for you guys here. Let's come into standing leg raise. So what we're going to do is ground through that left foot. Take a breath in, grow the crown of the head to the sky. And then as you exhale, bring the hands to the hips. And we'll raise that right knee to hip height. Now from here, you have the option to grab onto the front of that right knee. And maybe you stay here and just play with that stability and that support. Or maybe you begin to open up the hip to the side wall. If you're feeling curious today, you want to be a little bit adventurous, maybe you open up that left hand towards the left side wall. And this does help with your balance, so give it a try. And from here, draw the shoulder blades together on the back and your ears fall away, or your shoulders fall away from the ears. I don't want your ears to fall anywhere. Don't let your ears fall. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly let everything come back in the center. Really hug everything in towards the midline and then release that leg. Let's shake out the hips, do a little dance. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Rounding through that right foot this time. Let the hands come to the hips. Left knee comes up to hip height, grounding and pressing through the sole of that right foot, as if it were roots into the ground, and flexing through the sole of that left foot to help keep it lifted. Grabbing onto the knee, maybe you stay and play with that engagement, really hugging the belly in towards the midline here. Or if you're feeling curious, maybe you let it open up to the side. That arm can stretch out to the opposite side. And find somewhere to focus your attention, focus your gaze, rather than flowing with the doubts and the expectations, the little side conversations in the head. Just see if you can focus your attention in front of you. Pick a spot on the wall, maybe something you've never noticed before. And then just add your breath into that space. Take one more breath in. Exhale, let everything come to center and release. Shake it off, do little things. From here, let's come into our tree pose. Hands come to the hips. Grounding through that left foot, let's take the right knee out towards the front of the space and open it up towards the side wall. We just got some nice work in our hip here. So this might feel a little bit more supported than at the beginning of our practice. And from here, taking the toes, you can just allow the heel to rest on the ankle, or maybe you allow the foot to travel up the shin, or even to your upper thigh, as long as it's not pressing into that knee joint. So wherever your tree is, allow that to be your tree of this moment. Choose it with integrity. And maybe here you inhale, allow the arms to express in whichever way you feel this morning. So I've taken my hands up towards the sky, but my cue is always just a guide. You can do whatever you feel you need in this moment. You can take on some cactus arms if you'd like. Maybe you keep the hands at heart center. Reach them behind your back. Whatever you feel here, just let it be. Take a breath in. Exhale, let the hands travel back to the hips. Slowly bring the knee towards the front and release. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up and overhead, reach up and look up. Exhale, hands come through heart center and to the hips. Coming into tree on the left side, bend that knee out to the front of the space and open it towards the side wall. From here, allowing the foot to travel up the leg, or maybe you just allow the heel to rest on the ankle and keep those toes rooted on the mat. Wherever you are, press down into that standing foot and reach the crown of your head up. Pull the shoulders down your back, create that space between your shoulders and your ears. And from here, take an inhale, express your tree in whichever way you would like to on this left side here. Again, this is a new pose, a new moment. It might feel completely different than the other side. There's no need to have an expectation for what this pose should be, how it should feel. Just let it be what it is and stick here with it. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release your knee, release the hands. Let's bend the knees, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, your hands come through heart center. Allow yourself to fold forwards. I'm just changing my orientation for you guys. Maybe you catch your blocks on the way down and let the head completely hang. Getting the head underneath the heart works to calm the nervous system. So let's try that on right here for a few moments. Just see if you can let the head and neck be nice and heavy. Take a big inhale through your nose. Exhale, let something go and roll off the top of your head. From here, let's make our way down to our seat. So keep your hands rooted into your blocks, and whichever way is comfortable for you, finding a nice seated position on the ground. From here, let's come into a bridge pose. So lying down onto your back, let the fingertips spread down towards your heels, bending at the knees, rooting the feet into the mat. Take an inhale, Press down into the feet. Begin to squeeze the glutes as you raise the hips into the air. Reaching the pelvis, shining it towards the ceiling as we press down into the backs of the arms. Holding at the top here, maybe you gaze towards your belly. Take an inhale, see if you can watch your belly inflate. Exhale. Slowly bring yourself all the way down, one vertebrae at a time. Nice and gentle here. Hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. Exhale, release the feet back to the mat. Let's set up for bridge pose once again. Pressing those feet down. Lining the fingertips up. Pressing into the soles of the feet. Begin to raise the hips into the air, squeezing through the glutes to help you lift. You can imagine here that you have something in between your thighs and you're squeezing it together, hugging everything into the midline. Maybe you look to your belly, take a breath in. Exhale, let the hips come down, slowly lowering through the back. Hug the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a great big squeeze. Maybe you roll from side to side a little bit over that lower back. Give yourself a nice little massage here. Nice mindful movements. And then when you are ready, allowing the feet to come back down to the mat, let's raise one arm up and overhead. And it doesn't matter which one it is, as long as you can still see me after you roll over. So we're going to come now all the way over onto our bellies. So from here, just rolling into that fetal position, maybe you take a breath and feel yourself here. And then rolling all the way over onto our bellies. So making sure that you can still see me, but even if you can't, maybe you just challenge yourself and see if you can do this by just listening to my voice. So we're down here on the mats, on our bellies, turning the gaze down towards the mat. Let's come into a baby cobra. So let's have the hands in line with our upper ribs here, nice and tucked in close towards our sides. Our gaze turns down. As we take an inhale, press the feet down, press the pelvis down, and just lifting through the upper chest, drawing the shoulder blades together on the back. Maybe your hands just come to a hover on either side. Feeling that engagement in the upper body. Take a breath in, and exhale, slowly lower yourself all the way down. From here, take your arms to the outer edges of your mat. So they're actually going to come off your mat a little bit. Spread your fingertips out nice and wide. And then I want you to come up onto your fingertips, as if you were making little tarantula spiders with your hands. So the palms are lifted up and the fingertips press down. And the hands are just slightly ahead of our shoulders. And again, out to the wide edges off of our mat, coming into a spider cobra. So turn your gaze down, take an inhale, reach your chest up and your shoulders together on your back. You might not straighten all the way through your arms, that's unlikely. So just press into the tops of your feet, really feeling that nice opening in the upper back. Letting the pelvis root into the mat, letting this all be a nice stretch in the upper back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower yourself down. Let's find our locust pose. So from here, extend your arms back behind you as if you were holding a large beach ball on your back. You can even use that motion with your hands, spreading the fingertips out as if you were trying to carry a big beach ball on your back. From here, turn the gaze down. Take an inhale, pull your chest up and your shoulders work towards coming together. Maybe the legs raise into the air as you press the pelvis down into the ground to help you lift up. Turn the gaze towards the mat. Allow the crown of the head to reach out as if someone was pulling you apart in opposite directions. Stretching out that spine. Take a breath in, grow your locust, and exhale, release. From here, let's bring the palms underneath our shoulders. Press into the palms, and I'd like you to find an upward facing dog, or you can come into a cobra here. So either cobra or upward facing dog. If you're coming into upward facing dog, pressing up into the hands, pressing the tops of the feet down into the mat, and reaching that chest out. The thighs are lifted, everything is engaged. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, let's spread the knees wide, come back into a child's pose. Reach those arms nice and long in front of you. And ground the forehead onto the mat once again. Take a deep breath in here. Coming back to your center. Maybe you use your breath as a nice hush to your thoughts. Slowing down the breath here. And from here, take an inhale. Bring yourself up onto hands and knees. And then from here, let's sit over onto one hip and extend the feet out long in front of us. So I'm just changing again my orientation so you can see me, but you can have your legs still on the mat. They don't have to be sitting the same way as I am. So let's come into a seated forward fold here. Take an inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And you can use your blocks here to help you if you need. You can have them on either side of your legs, totally up to you. But from here, hinging forward from the hips, leading with the chest rather than curling through the upper back, allow yourself to fold forwards, trying to keep that nice straight spine. Allow your head to just drop. And even though our heart is facing down and in towards our thighs, the back of our heart chakra is actually quite open. So by taking deep breaths into that back space, we can still work to open up through the heart by sending our breath into our back body, into our back ribs. Because we often forget that the heart space goes all the way around our body. It's not just through the front of the body that we have access to the heart, opening up the heart. From here, slowly make your way up to seated. And let's come to lying down on our backs here. From here, let's find a figure 4 position. So inhale, take that right leg up towards the sky, flexing to the sole of the foot. Left knee is bent with the sole of the foot on the mat. And then as you exhale, let that right ankle come over top of your left thigh. Keep flexing through the sole of the foot and leaving a space between the legs as if you were to create the number 4. On an inhale, draw the left knee up into the air, flexing through the sole of the foot. And when you're ready, grabbing through that little space you've created with your legs, either onto the back of your thigh or grabbing your shin, and hug everything in towards your chest. You can use that right elbow against your inner right knee as a little bit of leverage if you need. Really flexing through the sole of both feet. Keeping that engagement through the feet and the ankles, not sickling them. And see it here if you can just let your shoulders and your upper body relax. Sending our breath to the sensation in the hip. Feeling that nice opening and relaxing through the upper body to release any of that unnecessary tension. Focusing on the hip here. Let's release that side. Stretch the foot up towards the ceiling. And exhale, let it come down. Let's come into the other side. So we inhale, lift that left leg up, sole of the foot stretches up. Exhale, ankle comes over the thigh. Reaching through that space you've created, grab onto your thigh or your shin and pull it in towards your chest. You can use that left elbow on your inner left knee for some leverage if you need that. Flexing through the sole of each foot. Breathing into that space in the hip. And get curious with this posture here. Maybe you experiment with releasing the leg a little bit on the inhale. And then hugging everything in nice and tight on the exhale. Maybe you take a little bit of movement side to side. Really just getting curious about what our body might need right now. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release the foot. Stretch the sole of the left foot up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, release it down. Take the arms out wide to either side. Ground the palms into the mat. Let's take an inhale and send the hips just slightly over towards the left side. And then drawing the knees in, let's allow the knees to fall over towards the right, taking a supine twist here. Be nice and gentle with your twist. Seeing if we can keep that upper body, the back of the upper body rooted into the mat. Maybe you take the gaze over to the opposite side wall. Allow the breath to slow down here. From here, inhale, bring the knees in towards center. Walk some way. Then maybe sending the hips just gently over towards the right side this time, drawing the knees down to the left side. Taking the supine twist on the left this time. Maybe you turn that gaze towards the right. Seeing if you can let everything release. Be nice and soft. From here, draw the knees in towards your chest and give yourself a nice big hug here. Sending yourself some gratitude for coming to your mat this morning. Acknowledging that what we've done here is an act of self-care. You should feel really proud of yourself for that. Creating this energy, giving yourself this time here on your mat. To have some compassion for yourself. And when you're ready, taking any last movements you might need and coming into your final Shavasana pose. So if you have a little blanket or a pillow that you'd like to have with you, making yourself as comfortable as you can for these last few moments that are well deserved. And lying in your final Shavasana here, really see if there's any leftover tension or engagement being held in the body. We'll do a quick little scan through from our bodies, starting at the feet. Allowing the ankles to roll out to either side. Maybe you give the toes a little bit of a wiggle. Allow that to presence you. Maybe you feel the gentle sensation of air moving between your toes. Let the bottoms of the feet relax and be soft. Our feet and our ankles and our legs carry us around all day long. Feel the weight of the backs of the legs, of the heels, right into the toes. See if you can let everything relax. Knowing that there is a time for engagement and for work. There's also a time for restoration. And that's one of these moments. Feel the back of the pelvis rooted into the mat, your root chakra, supporting you, helping you feel grounded to the earth. Let the backs of the hands rest heavy onto the mat, with the palms face open, receiving all this beautiful energy you created all by yourself this morning. My cues and my teaching is a guide, a suggestion of where you can go in your practice. But it's always just that, just a suggestion. All of this work, all of this energy that you created was all done by you. Allow the shoulders, the entire backs of the arms to be nice and heavy. Feel the back of the head resting into the mat. And let your face be nice and soft. Let your forehead spread nice and wide. Temples. Relax through the jaw. And I'm going to end this practice with us in our Shavasana pose here, because if you can take a few more moments of stillness, I would love for you to do so. So please, if you can, allow yourself to stay in Shavasana for however long is needed. It was an honor to celebrate this long day that we have ahead of us here, approaching the summer solstice. Lots of energy in the air today, and I'm really glad to share that with you this morning. So the light in me sees, honors, and celebrates the beautiful shining light in each and every one of you. I invite you to stay in your Shavasana for however long is needed. And with that, namaste.